Merry Christmas! This is Snow City Tarot, and I'm here with nothing. No decks, no readings, no cards. No, I do have some cards. I wanted to say thank you to everybody for the 220 subscribers is where I saw it this morning. I've gotten 100 subscribers in the course of 2 months. That's really impressive to me because I know people who've started channels and it doesn't take off, goes nowhere. It's very hard to get subscribers, so while 220 seems really low, I'm pretty freaking impressed with myself. So yeah, I'm glad you guys like my content so far, and I'm glad you like me, and I'm not completely repulsive and horrible and have a terrible personality or anything. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys like that. I'm trying to think here what I'm doing. I actually had like a key points card that I wrote up so I could talk to you all. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here in the tarot room with my indoor ski hat because that's my most festive thing. I'm not a Christmas person, I'm more of like a Halloweener. But I'm sitting here in my cozy blankie and like my fancy card Queen of Hearts leggings, and I'm here to just kind of sit and chat. I wanted to bring up some stuff that I wanted to do for the channel. So what I'm currently up to is, I'm actually thinking more of some more things that I want to do with you guys. Different types of reads. I tried my hand at astrology reads. Oh my God, I just posted Virgo, Taurus, and God, I don't know who else. I just can't. I just can't. I don't know how these people do the tarot scopes, but right now I don't know much about astrology to begin with. And with these ones, I've been wanting to make them very thorough because I wanted to make them few cards and I want it to be quick. So at the moment, it's sort of difficult for me to do that because I really do. I sit down and I write up a whole big spiel. It's like it's not really rehearsed, but I have all the points written down and everything because I just feel like that would be better for a horoscope read because it's very general. And not to mention, since I tried romance reads, so there's different situations like, are you coupled? Are you separated? Are you single? And I don't think I'm going to continue them for now, is all I'm saying. Maybe later. I am looking into studying some astrology. But anybody who knows anything about astrology knows that it is an entire science on its own. It's insane. Like, human history has been doing astrology for a very long time. So it's very complex and it has a lot of history behind it that I'm just not ready to study right now. But as far as tarot, I am studying that. I'm also studying traditional playing cards still. Before I would use those cards for, I'd use just the card suits in tarot and then read them in the playing cards. But now I want to try the different styles like Lenormand. I want to learn just like the Romani style, or just some of the other meanings. But it's hard to find content actually. Not a lot of people read playing cards, so I'm having some trouble finding some good books. I do have some books, but they're very vague. I found an app, and then I found some other stuff online, but it's inconsistent information. So I don't want to be getting the wrong information. I know a lot of people do intuitive reads. I don't really. I tried it, and I like it. It's fine, but I don't want to do. I want to be one of those people that has the, 70% of it is actual learned stuff, and then the rest would be the intuitive part. That's kind of how I want to break it up, because I think it's going to give more options and more information to people. So that's kind of what I'm doing with that. I also doing artwork. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people do. I have a bachelor's in fine arts and illustration and animation. And I haven't, I really fell out of art after I graduated due to the circumstances I was in. when it came to work and jobs and things like that. And I'm actually really thankful that I've started this channel and I've gotten back into tarot. I was interested in it like a long time ago, like in high school, and I just kind of like, I don't have time for this. But since I've picked it up, I've really gotten back into it, and thankfully that obsessive nature that I have on for certain things really like kicked in with this, and now I'm like taking off with it. So yeah, because I sometimes look at, I don't see it as a bad thing, but I sometimes have like obsessive interests occasionally. It's not like super bad, but it's honestly, when I do get those bouts of obsession, it's like suddenly I have direction. It's really great. So I started this up again, and I've started drawing, and I've started painting again, and it's a godsend. So with this, recently, I've started making my own cards. These are comps, so comps are compositions, color comps, you know, just layouts and stuff. So most recently, I just did a version of the Ace of Cups for myself. I wanted to put some wall art up here, and I wanted to do my own Ace of Cups because I think it's probably one of my favorite cards, just because it's beautiful. I'm a big fan of water, and I always like the way that it kind of like fountains out. So yeah, I wanted to do that and put it up somewhere in my apartment because I have no wall art. I moved to here in October, and I've got like nothing on the walls. So I started that, and I started my own oracle cards. These are definitely in the process of being edited and everything. I don't know if I'm going to keep all these, probably not. And I actually even started to like design them. And they're kind of like based on these oracle cards. I wanted them to be more dark, less woo-woo. Like there's like oracle decks flying around, like the work your light cards for light workers, and like oracle cards that are like the wisdom of the oracle, which I have. I don't mind it because that one is it's a little woo-woo, but it's also, it's got negative aspects to it. I just don't really dig these cards that are so positive all the time, because I believe in positivity, but I also believe that having some negative things in your life and having some bad things in your life is how you can actually like move forward, you know. So, or having scary things in your life, like, yeah, I mean, just bad things happening that's life, you know. So when I see these cards that are like, go inward as your answer for everything, and I'm like, this is asking someone to go inward through a card that doesn't know what's going on, by an author who doesn't know what's going on, is not really helpful, but more frustrating. So, like, if you feel like there's questions to your life that are beyond what those type of oracles can provide, that's kind of what this deck is for. Which, it's not a deck yet, it's definitely just a few of these. But yeah, I did these on some index cards. They're like a combination of quotes, the stuff that I thought would be interesting. Like, if you were having a particular problem, and you got the tarot and everything, and like maybe these little bits of insight would be helpful, I guess. Like, so for instance, I have this one. I made this. This is, it just says paved with good intentions. I really like quotes a lot, because I think they're easy, short ways to explain, they're short ways to sum up a thought, you know, and sometimes it can be really impactful, and you can walk away with that lesson without having to remember the whole conversation you had with somebody. So these little bits of information are portable. Mentally portable is the way I can say it. So say you're having an issue where you're putting too much effort into something, and rather than getting down to the root of like what is going wrong, you know, this and that, you know, I have this, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, which I I know a ton of people this card applies to, because they're like, I'm just putting so much effort into everything, and my whole world's burning down. It's horrible. Like, oh my God. Like, and this sums up your situation. And I think in those situations, you have to ask yourself, like, maybe I shouldn't be putting quite so much effort into something because it's all going to hell in a handbasket. So, so these little things, these like quotes and lyrics and things that I like are really important. Also, I noticed that there's like some, in the cards though, there's some things missing, like I said, they only focus on good, happy things. So, like, you never have, like, a card that pops up that just says, like, greed. You're being greedy. I mean, you do in tarot, but an oracle card never will tell you this, and that I've seen, they'll be like, you're just being greedy. You're getting caught up. This one is from Lana Del Rey. Chasing paper is the line in one of the songs, but it says, don't get caught up in the game, and it's greed. And I have, and there's, like, social issues, too, like, like forbidden love. You don't really hear about that in the tarot. You get it with the Hierophant a bit, because I think that the Hierophant shows societal things, like, all it really says is societal norms. So, you don't really get to the heart of the issue, but, I thought that if this card popped up, like this, like, love is never a sin, I think that'd be really interesting, because there's people that, like, are looking for love, but don't realize that maybe they're hung up on taboos or social norms, and that is what's in the way. Yeah, I had another one. It's taboos. And it says, social constructs stand in the way of your happiness, which is an interesting one, too. I think this is particularly interesting because I do believe at one point I did read that somebody might be having a same-sex partner in the future one time. And I was not sure, like, who the heck this was, because I kept pulling, like female cards, pulling female cards, like, and I was like, what? And then I kept getting cards that were saying, like, no, this is going to be going beyond the social norms. Your family will have difficulty with this. It's like over and over again, like these type of cards saying your family is going to have a problem with you. And I was like, what the hell does this mean? And I was thinking about it, and I think that what it was saying was that the person was going to be in a same-sex relationship. And, of course, I didn't tell them that because that's not my place to tell a person that. I just said that it was going to violate, it might upset social norms for some people, like whether it's family, it could be friends, stuff like that. Or in themselves, it doesn't follow their social norms. So that's kind of why this card exists. And the taboos card, too. I know people who are in larger age gap relationships with both men and women, and that's one of those taboos that people deal with as well. Racial differences, although I don't think that's going to come up as often. I don't really feel like there's a lot of taboo between, like, interracial marriage anymore, but maybe depending on what part of the United States you live in, or, well, sorry, I keep thinking that this is just the United States, but, like, what part of the world you live in, there could be, like, or, like, if you're in a place that has arranged marriages only, and then you pull this card, maybe you're going to be having not arranged marriage, or, and that's going to upset people. There's a lot of situations for that to come in. I also have my karma card that I designed. Boop. I thought this was cool. My mom, and this is very fitting because this is a Christmas card, technically. My mom is a Buddhist. She has a Buddhist temple. She's been Buddhist, like, my whole life. She travels to India. She travels to Mongolia. She does these trips almost annually. And she's basically, she's like the biggest Buddhist teacher for me. She will claim that she can't teach anybody, but my mom is she's basically my teacher, and that's kind of like the relationship we have. So, she always explained karma to me like this. So in the Christmas Carol, I think it's Marley. I can't remember if it was Marley, but that's not Bob Marley. Oh my God. Is it Marley? It was his old co-worker, Ebenezer Scrooge's old co-worker. And he had died. And the ghost of Marley came to Ebenezer Scrooge, and he was covered in chains. And I think something along the lines of Ebenezer Scrooge asks him, like, well, why are you like this? Why are you still here? Why are you haunting? Why are you covered in chains? And he says, I forged the chains. What did he say? Let's see. He said something like, you forged the chains. I wear the chains I forged in life. I made them link by link and row by row, which indicates that, for me, that, she used that quote to explain karma to me. And basically, you will be bogged down by your own negative actions, and you will basically increase the suffering of others and the suffering of yourself if you continue to do crappy things to people. If you act cruelly and everything, because they were bankers and they were very cruel to people, and that was like the whole story, you know that. But I made this card for that. And even though it's a Christmas quote and everything from a Christmas thing, that it's really still not, I think it's a kind of a year-round, perfect for everything kind of thing. I also have my psychic cards. For now, I don't have them all. I made cards for clairvoyance. These gotta be revamped, because they're just, ugh. But clairvoyance was the one, because you don't get cards that like go out and say like, you are having a clairvoyant experience, you are having this experience, or if you have cards that, like, if you want to like explore what your own abilities might be, if you have them, these cards would help. So we got clairsentience. It says, and at the bottom I have these things that kind of describe it. It's like, you just know. Clairvoyance has the eye, but telepathy. That's a cool one. I liked this one a lot. That one was really fun to do. And it says, telepathy, your thoughts may not be your own. Pay attention. And then this one, clairaudience. That's for people that hear spirits, because there's a lot of different, these are basically for mediumship, honestly, these cards. We got clairsentience, clairvoyance. Well, you can be a clairsentient, clairvoyant medium, but clairaudience is the fun one. Then clairvoyance, though, is, I believe, seeing the future. Clairsentience is knowing, like a clear knowing. But then there's actual mediums that can actually see the ghosts or spirits. And I don't know what the term for that one is. I think it's just a psychic medium at that point. All mediums are technically psychic, by the way. But not all psychics are mediums. But, yeah, I was going to do chakras, too, but my ability to draw chakras are pretty terrible. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. But these ones kind of are neat because I thought it'd be nice to have explanations for what they do. So I got through a lot of them, but I didn't include them to show you because they look really bad. But these ones explain like blockages. So if in the case that somebody's having some problems, sometimes these blockages can explain it. Not that I would replace like going to the doctor with this, but it might help if you have situations where you can't figure out what's wrong with you, which is actually more common than you'd expect. So, it might help, like, if you're one of those people who are, like, chronically sick and all your doctors are like, I don't know, it's anxiety? And then you go like, okay, maybe I'll try something else from somebody else or some place that doesn't think that it's just something you can throw anxiety meds at. So, that's why I made the chakra cards. But I don't know if I'm going to keep those in that deck. And then I have One-Eyed Jack. Because you don't have, like, the Betrayal card in... I mean, you do have a Betrayal card in Tarot. And you have that Betrayal card in the actual playing card set. But I feel like this one's a little bit more forward in your face. One-Eyed Jack is the name of the Jack of Spades, who's he's a traitor. He's like somebody that you can't trust. He's a gangster. He's like a corrupt policeman. Like he's really not a cool guy. But you don't have a lot of cards that kind of warn you about, like in Oracle decks, you don't have a lot of cards that warn you about people that you can't trust. And I thought that would be helpful. I also found, like, lyrics. I thought these are cool. I don't know if I'll use these, but it says, "Found a part of me that's a mystery." Like, if you knew somebody and then they kind of, like, woke you up a bit. That's cool. So that's what I've been up to as far as the artwork goes. I wanted to do some explanations for some readings as well. So I guess I have to explain the readings a bit, because I know people come on here and they're like they'll go on to something like, I came on here and this video says, is about, like, looking for jobs, but I already have a job and you didn't know that. It's a lie. It's a lie. And I'm like, okay, if you're seeking out, like, the collective readings do not work at all if you are, like, seeking out a way to break it, because most of the people are actually going to these collective readings to get answers, and if there's like 2 or 3 people that are going up and they're like, it's wrong because I'm like, you know, this doesn't apply to me, and it's not for you. I don't know how to describe it, how to say that. It's supposed to be, these collective energies pick up on energies of a large bubble of people with similar issues. That's why these are, I need to keep them more general, and that was another thing I'm going to be working on for the next couple of videos, is to keep these very general, reduce the amount of cards I use, reduce the amount of clarifiers that I use, and I just keep it general, because it's not going to help anybody if I'm able to pull out these specifics for, like, 2 people watching. That's what private reads are for. And you really should be getting those if you need the specifics. So I'm going to try to keep things a little bit more general. I'm not going to be trying to wow people with, like, how specific I can get. But so with these collective energies, so it's a big bubble of energy of people who have very similar problems. They come on to the thing, they pick deck 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then, so that's like 4 bubbles of energy that's the same, and that's how people pick, and that's how they get answers that resonate, if you will. So that's how it works. I don't know how else to describe it. I know people come on here, like, for my personal friends, like people that actually know me, they come on here and they're like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm like, well, that's because I didn't make it for you. You're not actually looking for these things. You're going to spy on me, or not spy on me, but, like, you're going to go check out this thing I'm doing. So it's not going to work for you. So, you know, to friends and family that watch my videos and are like, I don't understand this, like, that's why, because you're not supposed to be here. Like, my mom was like, I want to share your channel with everybody. And I was like, please don't, because they're not supposed to be here. Like, people have to find this naturally, seek it out, and that's how it works for them. Because if you show it like, oh, then it's less about the reading, and it's more about coming to see me. And that's not the point of the videos. So that's how the collective energy works. I've had people suggest that I am staging the reads. I am not staging the reads. I am shuffling on screen. I know with the face cams, I am not, like, the cards are not, like, up here. I like to do the face cams because I think it's nice to see the person who's doing it occasionally. I do have a lot of hand cams, like hand cam shots, for reads that are straight down on the table, and those have shuffling. I'm very clearly shuffling in front of the camera. So if you want to say that I'm not shuffling on screen when I'm doing the longer reads with the face cam, just go to the, if you gotta see the shuffling, just go to the ones that are shuffling. I'm not staging these. They come up, and sometimes it's the same reading over and over and over again. And I don't know why that is. I don't know the quantum physics behind how the cards are falling out of my hands and things like that. So, yeah, if you want to actually see real staging, go to my zodiac reads. Go to the horoscope reads, because I'm literally reading from a script almost while I'm doing those, because I had to write them down. So if you want to see what it looks like when I'm when I'm not doing it fluidly, there's your example. And I'm not going to continue with those, but I'll keep them up so people could see what it looks like when I'm reading from a script, and I'm very awkward. It's much harder for me to communicate when I have to reduce my ums and ands and try to make it more like palatable and quick. So if you want to see a straight stage thing, that's what it looks like. Also, I'm going to try to do more readings that are going to benefit. I'm going to try to do some readings that are a little bit more beneficial to people's mental health. A big problem that I'm seeing with the pick a card reading community and the tarot community is this a lack of sensitivity to people who are watching. And that's a really big issue with me, because I do go around and I check out readings for stuff that I'm not even like issues that I'm not even having. Like, I will go to pick a card readings to see, what the raids are like and see what the people are like down in the comments. And a lot of the people are very, very hurt and they're not feeling well. And there's a lot of really sad people. And when they go to these pick a card readings and they're doing like 6 or 7 or 8 of them like a day, or maybe they just watch them all damn day, to try to feel better, it's just kind of staying in this confirmation bias bubble. And a lot of these readers, they don't have the specifics enough to give you the right information. A lot of them don't know the meanings of the cards. A lot of them are reading cards only intuitively, like they've never touched a book in their life. So they'll keep repeating the same story over and over and over and over and over again. And honestly, I think it's the majority of the community that's doing that, because people, I've seen in the comments, people are like, oh, well, this one reading I got here can't be correct because all, like, the 20 other readings I got all said the same thing. And if you go through those readings and you watch group 1, group 2, and group 3, and group 4, you'll end up seeing somebody's coming towards you, somebody is walking away, but they're coming back, they're going to offer you love, they're going to do this and that, they see you as the Empress, so that means that you're their wife. Like, that's not what the Empress means. That's not what the Empress means. Like, sometimes if Emperor and Empress pop up in the same reading, yeah, I'd say that's like a pairing. That's like a, yeah, but these situations are very broad. There's hundreds of people watching these. If you go with the collective energy idea, it's going to be really chaotic, and there's going to be suddenly all these people who have soulmates and all these things, and like, a big one is the twin flame stuff. I can't get into it. I mean, it's supposed to be a super rare thing, if it exists at all. And when I see people bringing this up to general readings for like thousands of people, like really popular YouTubers will bring it up, and I'm like, you've just given these people this crazy label, saying, you've just given like thousands of people this label of twin flame, and it's suggesting that the relationship they're in is supposed to be this way. So you're being ghosted, you're being ignored, you're being emotionally abused, you have somebody running away from you, and then you're being told that it's good to chase, and then they give you some BS about some very non-specific healing that you have to do. And honestly, I think that's very dangerous to do to people who are in a state where they're like heartbroken. People think that breakups are just breakups, but for some people, that's like, it turns into like a mental illness. It's called limerence. And some people actually have to go to therapy for that. So I want to be more cognizant of what I'm telling people. So you might see me I believe in soulmates, and I believe that if twin flames really exist, I believe that soulmates are much more common, because you can have relationships with lots of people and throughout many lives, so you can have more than one soulmate, and sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're family, and sometimes it's not a romantic issue or anything like that. So I think that soulmates are a real thing, and I don't think that they have to be a romantic thing. Sometimes they are, But yeah, they're just people that you have very deep karmic connections with, and I think that they're common. Very common. I mean, you have a karmic connection with everybody, so you're going to run into people with karmic, like strong karmic connections too. So but I'll try to like reduce it, because I know that even though that's my view on it, if I say soulmate to somebody else, they might be like, oh, well, this person's my soulmate, so even though they're treating me poorly, that means I should stay. Or I should continue to pursue them and stuff like that. So I'm going to be trying to reduce that, just to be responsible, you know? You guys can believe those sort of things if you'd like, but I'm not going to be pulling out every Four of Wands and be like, twin flame! Because it's really perpetuating some damaging behaviors. And if anything, like, I would like to get people out of their state, not give them what they want to hear. I don't want to give them the confirmation bias to tell them, like, you know, you're heartbroken. Don't worry, he's coming back. Any day now, any day now. Because if you look at the comments in these videos, people are like, oh, I've been waiting for 2 years for this person to come back. And the cards tell me that he's coming back, but he's not. I want to kind of stop that, because if somebody does a reading for you saying somebody's coming back and it never happens, I mean, it could be 20 years, it could be 2 months, it could be 2 days. But, you know, there's people out there that are sad and need help getting out of that sadness, and I think that perpetuating these hopes of theirs and getting views off of it is sort of immoral. I'm just saying. So I'm going to try my best to do some things that help people move on. So I'm not going to be giving you readings that are fluffy all the time, or comforting all the time, but I will give the answers to you in a very respectful way, because nobody should feel stupid for you know, being heartbroken or feeling duped or something like that. I don't want people to feel bad. That's not what I'm here for. I say, though, if you are in that situation with this limerence issue where these card readings, they're saying things and the real world is showing you different things, I say go get a private reading. You can get one from me. That's fine. You don't have to, though. You can find one in person somewhere nearby. You can look these up. You find very good ones online. I'd say be careful with the readers on YouTube. Just make sure to do your research and make sure that their style is something that you like. I've had readers that, like, I'd be like, I have a problem and I have a question that I need to ask you. And they'll be like, don't ask me a question. I'm like, why? I come to you with a problem. I want to give you my question. They're like, no, let me figure it out. I'm like, okay. So I have 30 minutes that I've paid these people. And in the 30 minutes, they have to sit there and figure out if what's bothering me is a financial issue, a love issue, a family issue, and then by the end of the reading, they've given me absolutely nothing that I can use. So I'd say if you find somebody that reads the way you want. And big one is check if they answer questions, because I can't do the general. If you have a problem and you're going to a psychic, you need them to know what the problem is. You know, you're not there to be entertained or wowed about what they know or what they can discover on you. Like, that's like, if you want that sort of thing, just go find a magician. You know, find somebody who's going to do card tricks and pull flowers out of their pockets. That's not what I go for psychics for. So yeah, so that's the plan for the next couple videos and weeks and things to come. If you guys have any suggestions, or what are your opinions on these things? I would love to know. Tell me in the comments, like, what are your opinions on pretty much everything I've just talked about. You know, let me know. Let me know if you like these vlogs. I like talking. I talk a lot. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. But yeah, this was fun. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a happy new year, and I hope you're enjoying today with your family. I'm going to post this after everyone's done their festivities, so then you guys can enjoy your day. So, yeah. Alrighty then. I will talk to you guys later. Again, thank you for the 220 subscribers. I'm blown away. And I'm looking forward to the next couple months. Let's hope I get some more. Alright. Thanks for watching. Bye.